Hi, children of class 9. Today, Ayashish, your economics teacher, is going to teach you first lesson of your economics. That is the story of village Palampu. And now, let's start the lesson. We have already studied up to page number 8 of your book. Now, come to the page number 7. I have completed. Now come to page number 8. Here you can see there is one picture of that Dala and Ramkali are among the poorest native of the village, and some conversation is going on between them. Let's see what it is all about. As Dala says, it is difficult to find work these days. Only the large farmers hire us, and that too for a limited number of days. And now what Ramkali has to say. Ghanshyam, the large farmer, has just bought a harvester, so we are going to get even less work during the harvest season this year. Last year I worked for less than 5 months in the whole year. Just think that Ramkali was jobless for 7 months of the year. And we have tractors, and now again Dala says, we have tractors for plowing, harvesters for harvesting, threshers for threshing, even for removing weeds. Some farmers spray weedicide. Now, what Ramkali has to say. This year I will have to look for work in the brick making unit in Raiganj. Surely she gets only job for 5 months in a year. The rest part of the year she needs to do work. So now she will go to brick making unit in Raiganj for work. And what Dala has to say, I owe the local money lender rupees 2000. Owe karna to owe means that Dala has to repay the amount to Dala has taken loan from someone, and now he has to repay that amount of 2000. I had taken rupees 1000 last summer when no work was available in the field. Surely when work is not available and persons has their needs, for example food, clothing, then Dala must have opted for a loan. And now how will I ever repay? I hardly earn enough for 2 square meals. Means 2 square meals means even barely one maintains food for 2 times in a day. And in case of Ramkali, my situation is not much better. Due to past debt, the money lenders refused to give me any loan. Now Ramkali also says, yes, because of the earlier loans, whatever debt she has, she is unable to repay. The now money lenders are not ready to give her new loan. Basically, the conversation between this Dala and Ramkali shows that now rich farmers have got tractors and plowing, tractors for plowing, harvesters for harvesting, threshers for threshing. Surely now the work which earlier was done by poor workers, nowadays that has been done by machines. So workers now are getting jobless or maybe getting very less amount of work. So surely they have to move away from agriculture and look for work in some other sector. Now come to this page number 9. Now there is one story that Savita is a small farmer. She plans to cultivate wheat on her 1 hectare of land. Besides seeds, fertilizer and pesticides, she needs cash to buy water and repair her farm instruments. She estimates that the working capital itself would cost a minimum of rupees 3,000. She doesn't have the money, so she decides to borrow it from Tejpal Singh, a large farmer. Tejpal Singh agrees to give Savita the loan at an interest rate of 24% for 4 months, which is a very high interest rate. Means in 4 months, if she 24% for 4 months, that is really a hefty sum, a hefty interest rate. Savita also has to promise to work on his field as a farm laborer during the harvest season at rupees 100 per day. Means Savita will work in his field for even that 100 rupees per day. And as you can tell, this wage is quite low. Savita knows that she will have to work very hard to complete harvesting on her own field, and plus she has to work on Tejpal Singh's field, and plus the harvest time is a very busy time, and as a mother of 3 children, she has a lot of household responsibilities. Surely she is the mother of 3 children, so she has lots of household responsibilities and lot of daily household chores. Savita agrees to these tough conditions as she knows getting a loan is difficult for a small farmer. Surely with this example or story you can make it out. Farmers like Savita who don't have proper paperwork of their land, and they are not aware of the facilities provided by government from various banks. So they go and opt for a loan from unorganized or disorganized sector, and they took a loan from like Tejpal Singh, which had a very high rate of interest, that is 24% for 4 months. Surely she will, and along with that she has to work in Tejpal Singh's field at a very low income, wage of rupees 100 per day, and this in turn will automatically create a burden of debt on Savita, as she will not be able to repay that much amount of loan, and automatically it will create a vicious cycle of loan where she will get caught into a debt trap. So now come to this topic, the capital needed in farming. So that was the story, how farmers will get capital which are needed for farming by poor farmers, and that was said to you, that was explained to you by a story of the Savita. Now, sale of surplus farm products. Surely farmers, when they produce crops, they will be able to sell when they produce excess of crops on their fields. But if farmers like Savita and Dala, who cannot have land of their own or a very small amount of land, they cannot produce enough crops, and even if they produce crops that they will automatically consume, they will need that crop for their own self-consumption. They will not be able to generate or sell extra surplus crops in the market, so they will not be able to create a capital of their own, and the large farmers in turn will do that. And then now the non-farm activities in Palampur, the various non-farm activities in Palampur are: first one, dairy, the other common activity, and 25% of the people working in Palampur are engaged in activities other than agriculture, and that includes dairy. The two traders from Sapur town have set up collection cum chilling centers at Raiganj, from where the milk is transported to faraway towns and cities. And now come to this. And the second one, example of small scale manufacturing in Palampur. Misri Lal has purchased, by one story they are trying to explain that Misri Lal has purchased a mechanical sugarcane crushing machine run on electricity, and has set it up on his field. Sugarcane crushing was earlier done with the help of bullocks, but people prefer to do it by machine nowadays, as it is cheaper and quickly it can be done. Misri also buys sugarcane from other farmers and processes it into jaggery. This jaggery is then sold to traders at Sapur. In the process, Misri makes a small amount of profit. This kind of small scale manufacturing goes on in Palampur. And when there is another, Karim has opened a computer class center in the village. In recent years, a large number of students are attending college in Shahpur town. Now Karim found that a number of students from the village are also attending computer classes in the town, and there were two women in the village who had a degree in computer applications. He decided to Karim found that a number of students, and now there were two women in the village who had a degree in computer applications. He decided to employ them. He bought computers and set up the classes in the front room of their house overlooking the market. High school students have started attending them in good numbers. So these are the other activities, non-farm activities, which are done basically in Palampur. And now fourth one, the shopkeepers transport, a fast developing sector. There are a variety of vehicles on the road connecting Palampur to Raiganj, as you must have seen on the very first page of your lesson. Rickshaw wala, tanga walas, jeep, tractor, truck drivers, and people driving the traditional bullock cart and bogie are also people in the transport services. And look at this one story. Kisora is a farm laborer. Like other such laborers, Kisora found it difficult to meet his family needs now from the wages that he received. A few years back, Kisora took a loan from the bank, and this was under a government program which was giving cheap loans to poor landless households. Kisora bought a buffalo with this money, and he now sells the buffalo's milk. And further, he has attached a wooden cart to his buffalo and uses it to transport various items. Once a week, he goes to the river Ganga to bring back clay for the potter, or sometimes he goes to Sapur with a load of jaggery or other commodities. Every month, he gets some work in the transport, and as a result, Kisora is able to earn more than what he used to do years back when he was just a laborer in a farm. So students, with this we come to the end of this lesson, and now as an exercise Okay, for now, thank you.